Chapter 1. A Mission in the Shadows. March 14, 1962. Anderson Air Force Base, Guam, 5:00 p.m. At first glance, it looked like any other military deployment. The soldiers were young, some barely 90. Others were seasoned paratroopers. They wore no identification tags, no visible rank, no insignia. Even their uniforms were different, no patches. The only information they received: board the flight, say nothing, ask nothing. Some wrote letters home. One of them, Private Alan West, scribbled, "They say we're going somewhere in Southeast Asia. But it's all hush-hush. Not even the officers know why." The aircraft waiting for them was a Lockheed L-149 Super Constellation, tail number N6921C, operated by Flying Tiger Line, a civilian cargo airline under military contract. Also on board, 3 CIA-affiliated security agents, experienced crew members, total 107 souls, destination Clark Air Base, Philippines. Duration 3.5 hours. Outcome unknown. Chapter 2. Into the Unknown Flight. C-9 took off from Guam just before dusk, flying straight east toward the Philippines. Weather was clear. Visibility was perfect. At 8:22 p.m., the pilot made a final routine radio transmission to the Guam Tower. Position 132 degrees east, 5 north, altitude 18,000, all normal. That was the last anyone ever heard from Flight 739. No distress call. No deviation from course. Nothing but silence. Chapter 3. Radar blackout. Air traffic control expected the plane to reappear near the Philippine coastline around 10:00 p.m. But it never did. Controllers repeatedly tried to reach the aircraft. Flight 739, do you copy? Tiger 739, respond. Silence. Soon, military radar stations realized the plane had vanished completely from radar mid-flight, and thus began one of the largest search and rescue operations in U.S. military history. Chapter 4. Search Operation. Code name Silent Hunt. Over the next 8 days, more than 1,400 personnel, aircraft, naval ships, submarine, and hundreds of square miles of ocean were scanned every hour, day and night. By air, by sonar, and by surface patrol, but no wreckage. Not a seat cushion, not a drop of fuel. No oil slick, no signal beacon. It was as if Flight 739 had been erased from existence. Chapter 5. The Oil Tanker Testimony. Then came the first and only witness. The SSTL Lenson, a Liberian oil tanker en route through the same region, radioed this chilling report. At approximately 8:30 p.m. local time, we observed a bright light in the sky, followed by a second flash, and then a large fireball. The explosion appeared mid-air, then vanished into darkness. The timing perfectly matched the moment Flight 739 lost contact. Yet U.S. officials claimed, "We cannot confirm any relation to Flight 739. The testimony was ignored. The area where the tanker witnessed the explosion, never searched. Chapter 6. The Disappearance That Didn't Happen. Just days after the search was called off, families began receiving notices. "Your son is missing, presumed dead. We regret to inform you. But strangely, Not a single name appeared on official military death records. More disturbing, the Department of Defense initially denied the existence of the flight. The soldiers were never formally declared KIA, killed in action. No compensation, no medals, no burial. Even FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, requests were returned with blank pages. Why would the US military deny a flight it chartered? What was so secret that 107 people had to be made invisible? Chapter 7. Black Ops or Blunder? Several theories have emerged over the years. Let's break down the most compelling. Theory 1. Mid-air explosion. Mission gone wrong. Some believe a mechanical failure or fuel spark caused a catastrophic in-air explosion. But experts argue, in such events, debris always floats. Even in the deep Pacific, something should have surfaced. And what about the radar blackout? Even black boxes transmit signals, yet none were ever received. Theory 2. CIA mission, covert deployment to Laos. Declassified documents decades later revealed multiple secret operations were underway in Laos and Cambodia before the Vietnam War officially began. Was Flight 739 transporting special forces or CIA contractors for covert missions? If so, and the mission failed, was the erasure intentional? Theory 3. Friendly fire, shot down by mistake. Some veterans speculate the aircraft may have entered unauthorized airspace and been shot down by allies or unknown forces. An embarrassing error, covered up to avoid diplomatic fallout. Theory 4. Hijacking or defection. Could the aircraft have been hijacked or diverted mid-air? Some believe rogue agents or military defectors took control. But then where did they go? The Pacific offers no place to land a Lockheed Constellation without a trace. Chapter 8. The human cost. Forgotten families. For the families left behind, the nightmare never ended. Parents in small towns across America received no closure. Wives waited by telephones for weeks, no calls came. Children grew up believing their fathers were still out there. Some held out hope for decades. Others grew bitter, disillusioned by the government's silence. In one heartbreaking interview, a sister said, "They vanished, then we vanished with them." No one wanted to remember us. Chapter 9. The memorial that shouldn't exist. In 2021, a private initiative led by families built the first official memorial to Flight 739 on private land in Columbia Falls, Maine. The government refused to sponsor it. On a stone wall, etched in granite, are the 107 names that officially don't exist. Above them, one line reads, "We remember what the world was told to forget." Final chapter, erased from history. To this day, Flight 739 remains, not listed on any official casualty roll, unacknowledged by the Department of Defense, never investigated beyond 8 days, and never explained. So the question remains, did they die, or were they silenced?